So as we go to 5 red lights for the Belgian Grand Prix, we've got a Mercedes on pole, a McLaren in P2. It's lights off and it's foot to the floor. Who gets the better start? I think Asteroid does get the better start in the Mercedes in pole position. It looks like Big B and Christella are going to go side by side into turn 1, as it looks like Big B just squeezes past the McLaren, but the McLaren comes back down as we go into Eau Rouge and Radion. It looks like Christella, though, has gone past the Big B up into that section, and now it looks like Big B is going to have the slipstream on the McLaren as we go down to the hairpin, as Big B moves to the inside to try and get past the McLaren. But does Big B have enough space? Christella fends it off pretty nicely, and who actually does have a look on Asteroid, and it looks like Big B has dropped another place to the Red Bull as Big B retakes that place down the inside as they go into the next corner. But Christella did a really good job there to fend off Big B. Already racers getting penalties as we see Big B and Christella gonna go side by side into the bus stop chicane. Who's gonna get the better braking? Who's gonna brake the latest? I think both of them are pretty equal. Does Big B take it? He does go round the inside and now the outside, but it looks like Christella is still on the inside. But does Big B have the better traction? I think he does. And Big B into P2, but it looks like Christella is going to really take it down the inside into the first corner, as it looks like Christella does get it pretty well. But will Big B again have the better traction on the outside to try and retake the McLaren? He does. Wow, what racing this is between the Mercedes and McLaren, and even a Red Bull getting in on this. But it looks like Christella now down the straight. Is Christella going to have the, enough slipstream to try and get past? It looks like the Red Bull as well, is he? We're going to go try and make a move past the Mercedes as well. And they have indeed. Big B lost a lot of time there, as it looks like the McLaren and Red Bull go side by side as the Red Bull does go off the track there, as I think Christella maybe forced them off a little bit. As I think that was Moores and Isaac. It went side by side a little bit there, maybe. I think Moores gets a little bit, or try to get past, but that was a Alpha Tauri, I think, going off there, and the Williams of Moores, I do believe, going off the track there. And Isaac once again gets past, but it looks like Moores retook that position as well. We still see Isaac trying to make a move as we see Christella and the Red Bull going side by side there, and that's Christella back. Oh, and there's a big crash there, and even some drivers DNFing. I think what happened is the Red Bull maybe cut off the McLaren a little bit, and that has caused a massive crash and loads of drivers caught up in that. And, unsurprisingly, a safety car has been called out there. I didn't even know what happened, but as I said, I think it was the Red Bull that closed off the McLaren. Thankfully, both of those drivers were able to walk away from that, but a lot of damage to most drivers. And 2 DNFs of Overtaker and Blake. All of those drivers have entered the pits. So they must have got a thing there. And Asteroid is disqualified from the session. It looks like Asteroid went past the safety car that was waiting on the entry into Eau Rouge. And I guess Asteroid didn't see it. And they went past the safety car. And got disqualified because you can't overtake the safety car. Not a race that Christella would have wanted, but I think going side by side there is Max and Cambrica, and we're going to ride on board with Ferrari to see what this battle looks like, with the Ferrari of 5 Ways just sitting behind, probably just licking his lips, just watching this battle commencing out in front of him and waiting for a mistake and seeing if he can get through. And that's probably the mistake from the AlphaTauri there of Cambrica. Will 5 Ways have a look to go on a move? And it seems that 5 Ways is just sitting back for now, but probably with the slipstream, will probably try and make a move. He's going to be looking for it. He's going to be looking in it for it, but the AlphaTauri seems to go down the inside of the Aston Martin, and the Aston Martin does, actually. And there's a big crash there as well. I say big crash. There wasn't really any DNS, but the Ferrari going round, and I think Jace as well going round. Will they have the slipstream and DRS to get past the Red Bull? And I think you see there straight away the performance is there, and Big B back up into the first position. How cool would that be though, to see the F1 cars back on the Nordschleife? It would be incredibly dangerous, but not, well, it wouldn't be possible because it is too dangerous. But getting past the Haas driver there is the Red Bull of Millard. Millard up into P5, and looks like going past as well is going to be Jordan on the Haas of Isaac as well. Isaac just getting a little bit out of shape there out of turn 1, and Jordan back up to P6, and Crostella has done a pretty good recovery drive as well in P8 as well. You know, get back up into the top 5. I'm guessing that's going to be her target. And going side by side is Moors and XX Yeet as well. And I think Moors gave a little bit of a squeeze on the Alpine there. Going into the second part of that chicane. Moors up into the podium positions of P3. Oh, and I think the Alpine gets a little bit out of shape there as they come in to one of the final corners back onto the straight, which is really going to hamper the Alpine's speed. Is that going to give the Red Bull an opportunity to overtake into the bus stop chicane? The Red Bull is getting closer. It's getting closer. Is the Red Bull going to go down the inside or outside? It's going to go down the inside. And the Red Bull just gets the move. And there's a McLaren there that went very wide as well of Jordan. We'll have to see how that battle turns out. But now we see Big B and Ben going back at it. And again, the Red Bull with DRS, with the slipstream, already past Big B into there. And it did look like that Millard has lost a lot of positions actually down that straight, being overtaken by Moors and XX Yeet. But Ben reclaims one position straight away. Millard holds position, and so does XX Yeet, although the Alpine does go a little bit wide and gets a little bit of oversteer. And that does indeed allow Jordan to get past the Red Bull as Big B enters the pits. And we do have a yellow flag somewhere, which is immediately being cleared up. So maybe some sort of spin or something. I'm not too sure. As Millard gets past Moors as well. It's a Red Bull 1-2. But Big B is in the net lead, I do believe, from pitting. Going on to the hard tyres. As it looks like Jordan and the Red Bull of Millard going at it as well. Jordan was past for a split second. But the Red Bull manages to get past back. Good driving from these two as well. Good battling. Oh, and there's a spin there for Jordan and XX Yeet. I do believe it was Yeet that probably tapped the back. Or maybe it wasn't even Yeet, but Moors has actually DNF'd. A spin there by Jordan, and I think it probably was actually Moors then that did spin each other, and it's caused Moors to DNF. You know, this should be an easy pass for Jordan. Jordan's been on those hards pretty much since that incident on lap 3, and Big B on the fresher tires easily passed. And I'm not too sure Jordan really has anything to try and defend that as much as he possibly could have. Big B is going to have to pull off some pretty good moves and fast if he wants to try and, you know, get the undercut on the Red Bull as the Red Bull does pit. Crucial timing. Big B going to be coming down the main straight now and is past the Red Bull, but the Red Bull does have a shorter exit out of the pit lane, but I think Big B's done enough. And he has. Red Bull hitting the pit exit wall there. And Big B is into Eau Rouge. Obviously, Ben with the colder tyres is just trying to warm them up. But down the straight, does he have enough pace? And with the McLaren lagging a little bit, easy pass for Ben in the Red Bull. As we see XX Yeet getting pretty close to Bays. Bays is going to have to try and do a bit of defending, but will XX Yeet have the pace? The Alpine does elect to try and go down the inside and then does spin out, so Bays probably didn't leave enough space. And XX Yeet has to suffer the consequences, and I'm pretty sure the stewards will be having a look at that as well. Big B getting very close to Cambrica as Millard has pitted. And Big B going to go down the inside of Cambrica, and Big B's already passed with the DRS. Does Cambrica have, you know, the DRS and slipstream to try and get past the, you know, Big B down the straight? Big B does go defensive, but like I said, the slipstream and the DRS very powerful as the both of them go side by side. Big B leaving a lot of room, probably leaving the track a little bit, but Big B just managing to hold position. So Jordan will have to be a bit conservative using the ERS, but he's going to burn it now. Going to go down the inside into the bus stop chicane on the Aston Martin, and Jordan's passed, but goes a little bit deep into the corner. But that doesn't matter with him. He manages to stay in front of the Aston Martin, going a bit deep though into the corner. Maybe the Aston Martin could have been a bit more smarter about that. But Jordan up into P4, but he doesn't have enough, he's quite low on ERS, which One Eye will be looking at. And I'm pretty sure down the straight, One Eye will be wanting to make a move, but One Eye, thinks, I'm not going to wait until the straight, I'm going to overtake you into Eau Rouge. Obviously, we know Jordan doesn't have a lot of ERS. We can see his rear, light flashing. So he is under 10%. And is that going to present an opportunity for Millard into that corner? Not right now. Jordan defends it pretty well, as these two are going to be racing up until the final corner. Well, they'll be racing until the end of this race, I can assure you that. But will the move happen on this straight, maybe into the bus stop chicane? Millard does have a lot of ERS, but he doesn't choose to burn it. He's going to think a bit better about this. And he does make a move down the outside there. Millard up into P5, as Millard is already past, with the slipstream DRS. Easy pass. Well, they say to Ben, look, you got some good points here. Do you really want to throw this away? But that is not what is happening. Easy pass for the Red Bull into the chicane. Big B back down in P2. Does Big B, though, have enough tyre life, have enough power in that engine to retake that on the next lap? Will Five Wise have enough power, or will Five Wise, if I can even get my words out correctly, have enough power in that Ferrari engine to maybe have a move on the Alpine into the bus, into the bus stop chicane? No, holds back for now. However, the switchback could be on for the Ferrari. He wasn't able to get past the Alpine, but the McLaren staying with this fight as well, as the Ferrari is effectively pushing the Alpine through that corner. And I think down the straight, I think XXE is going to be in a little bit of trouble. They got two drivers raring, behind, going to be wanting to try and make this move. And, there's one, Five Wise getting past. You can see the McLaren as well getting past as well. And the McLaren, actually, of Cristella, takes 2 positions. And that's Cristella back up into P5. Like I said, at the start, after Cristella had that incident, on lap 3, Cristella has kept her composure and is back up into the top 5. But Cristella won't be done right now. Cristella wants to get more positions. But Five Wise up into P6 as well. I think there's an Aston Martin there of Max who's probably span out. But we see there Cristella getting past One Eye. I did say she isn't done yet. She's going to be pushing until literally the checkered flag, seeing what she can recover. But the Aston Martin coming back at the McLaren. And the Aston Martin dives down into the inside. Cristella does leave the space, all of the space in the world. This is probably not the position that Cristella wants to be in. And I did see on the telemetry there was a slight lift for Cristella, probably seeing if she could have gotten, the DRS, the ERS. Doesn't. And will Cristella lose a lot of time here? She's burning everything she can. As I think there's an Aston Martin and Ferrari off the track there. And that has helped Cristella just keep P4. I have no idea what happened there, but I believe it was Five Wise and who was the other one? I think it was Jordan. No, One Eye involved in that. But Jordan is also going to be wanting to get in this fight as well. But we do see, loads of moves into the back straight. Who's going to play it strategically? I don't think Isaac probably did the best thing there, especially with low ERS as well. And now we see Isaac and Jordan getting past the Haas. Haas losing 2 positions there. And we see the McLaren and AlphaTauri really racing each other. Five Wise is ahead of this pack as well. So maybe Five Wise is going to be in a little bit of trouble going on to the final lap, as there's probably a 5-way fight here for P7. Jordan has gotten past Jace. And it looks like Jace gets past Firewise as well. Few drivers going wide there, lucky enough not to collide with the wall. But what racing this is. There's literally 5 drivers here. That are going to be wanting to try and take one position. Going into here, Isaac has got past, or Firewise, sorry, has gotten past Isaac. As it looks like Bays as well has gotten past Isaac as well. Bays now going to be wanting to chase after his own teammates. Jordan going down the inside of Isaac as well. However, Isaac with the better traction stays in front. Firewise chasing down Jace. Jace probably not in the position that they would have want to be in, but Firewise gets a penalty for exceeding the track limits there. So even if Firewise gets past Jace down this back straight, which I think they're going to do, will they be able to hold on to P7 with that penalty? But Jace being able to hold behind, just keeping P7 for now. Good driving from the AlphaTauri to hold position. Bays, Jordan and Isaac are still going at it, as I think Firewise gets a little bit of a tank slapper there, which is involved, or which has allowed Bays and Jordan to get past. And now Jordan's going to be wanting to try and make a move on Bays into the next sequence of corners. This is exciting racing on the final lap of this race. What we all want to see. All of these drivers scrapping out for literally a singular point, if it even has to be. As we see Isaac getting past Jordan, getting past Firewise, sorry, there. And I want to see the fight up front. I want to see the fight up front. Ben wins the race. Big B finishes P2 with Millard in P3. Christella, I do believe, will be finishing in P4, but I want to see this fight as well. Jordan giving it everything. Jordan doesn't have any ERS, but will he elect to go down the inside into the bus stop chicane? He does. He goes a little bit deep. Has he got the position on base? And I think he has. Jordan just getting past in P8. Christella has finished P4. Cambrica in P5. XXE's in P6. Jason P7. Bays in P8. So even though Jordan got past, Jordan had that time penalty, demoted him into P9. P10 goes to Firewise, and P11 goes to Isaac. Wow, what a last lap battle that was from those drivers. Absolutely brilliant racing.